Welcome to sunny Vancouver, British Columbia. Man, right now I'm downtown. Oh yeah, man. It's a gorgeous day today. Unfortunately, there's way too many people trading their time for money in this beautiful city today. Look at how gorgeous it is. The sun is out. Not a cloud in the sky, man. It's just blue. So beautiful. Anyways, man, welcome, man. Welcome. Just want to go ahead and just talk to you guys about the opportunity of a lifetime. Talk about your opportunity to get out these cubicles behind me. Woo! I want to talk about freedom, man. You know what, man? I'm looking at this area and just so inspired, man. Because you know what? Over a century and a half ago, man, 95% of the population that was in rural areas were making their living in the agricultural age. They decided to all converge into the urban area, and they built these beautiful cities all over North America. You know, the money went from the land being consolidated to all these high-rise buildings, skyscrapers behind me. People started traveling from all over the world seeking the North American dream. They started the 40-40 plan, you know? And their parents told them, if you just work hard in school, you get good grades, you go to college, you get a degree, you work hard for 40 years of your life, buy a house, buy a car, have kids. You know, way back then, white picket fence. You're gonna be able to retire with this beautiful pension. You know, man, how things have changed. You look at Enron, you go ahead and look at MCI, look at WorldCom. Look at what happened in corporate America. As technology changed, corporations got leaner and meaner. No longer was one of those floors full of operators answering the phone. Thank you for calling Ma Bell, AT&T, Rogers. Nope. They went ahead and consolidated with the technology. They went from hundreds of people answering the phone to only 10. As technology continued to change, you know, the money that was once in, you know, the railroad industry, okay? Now the logistics changed. You have companies like UPS, Federal Express, DHL. They're able to take full advantage of the consolidation, right? When did the streamline distribution? Companies started making, you know, their hubs throughout the countries, right? No longer did they continue shipping all their products from the East Coast warehouse to all the locations on the West Coast, you know, having all those semi trucks, you know, from all your logistics companies, bringing that product from the West Coast to the East Coast or vice versa. They started creating these hubs, you know, in this streamlined distribution system. And you know what? The logistics companies, man, they fly a big plane, you know, products start coming in, international from China, coming in from Malaysia. Nike started shipping shoes, and the distribution of products just started consolidating more and more. When we transitioned from streamlined distribution, which we've seen the boom, okay, of direct sales industry, you had companies working as the middleman, cutting out that long process from manufacturer to the end user that used to be in retail. And we had the .com boom. And all of a sudden, everyone started going ahead and www.amazon.com, www.walmart.com. All of a sudden, centralized distribution systems, you know, started moving those products, man. And we had someone as smart as Jeff Bezos who said, you know what? I'm tired of working in these buildings. He goes, I want to be the #1 book distributor. So he opened up a business online out of his garage. And his vision was he was going to go ahead and take over the Barnes & Nobles, the Chapters Indigo. And people thought he was crazy. But the one thing Jeff Bezos knew, that he was going to get in front of a huge trend of commerce going online. And he did. And now since then, We went from buying our books online, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? We started buying all our books online through Amazon.com. And as that wave continued to go, what happened? Oh yeah, he didn't only take over, the bookstores. Now you see Toys R Us closing, hundreds of millions of jobs disappearing because he's one of the #1 retailers of not only books, but toys and earbuds and cell phones and anything that you can go ahead and buy. You can go online to Amazon.com, and they got the Amazon Prime, vans, even pulling up to these corporate offices. And now Jeff Bezos is in history. He's a multi-billionaire because he got in the middle of a huge shift in the economy. Just like the Rockefellers, just like the Gettys, just like the Vanderbilts, just like the Carnegies, just like the DuPonts and the Mellons. They got in front of a huge shift in the economy. And that wave took over, and their families are set for life. They're on now a picture frame in a mansion with them, and all of their great-great-great-grandkids are going to know who they are. And my question today is, are your great-great-grandkids going to know who you are? Are you positioning yourself in front of this wave called AI that's getting ready to just take over? Millions of jobs are getting ready to be lost. Just like when we went from the Industrial Revolution to streamlined distribution to the social media age, millions of jobs disappeared. But those who got in front of that big wave, that big trend, they made millions. You see, social media made people not just, famous overnight. We call them influencers. But were they really influencers? Or were they strategic business individuals who saw a trend coming? They got in the middle and they literally made millions of dollars overnight. Well, if you missed that trend, don't miss this. Because as AI takes over, there's a company that I want to introduce you to. And you know what? I don't know what is your goals. What is your dreams? What is the vision you have? What is the gift that God put in your heart? What I want to know today is, I call that a superpower. What's the superpower God put in your heart? And you've been holding on, because every time you share that vision, that gift, maybe your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, even your best friends, they go, man, you're crazy. You don't think Jeff Bezos looked crazy when he said he's going to be the #1 book distributor in the world? And he was working in corporate America in finance, and he said he was going to start this business called Amazon.com in his garage? You don't think it was crazy? Are you kidding me? When Barnes & Nobles was already connected to Starbucks on every corner around the world, and Jeff Bezos was going to start his competing business in his garage, you don't think they called him crazy? Well, I'm here to tell you, sometimes you got to have so much faith. And God said if you had a faith the size of a mustard seed, you could tell those mountains to move and they would. But sometimes you got to believe more in the gift and the vision God gave you than all the haters and the doubters that the enemy sends to go ahead and try to douse your vision, douse your dream, douse your passion for what God put in your heart. Because if you do, just like Jeff Bezos, you're going to become the Amazon of what it is he called you to do. And today, I'm telling you, right now, my mentor 30 years ago sat across from me like I'm sitting across from you. And he said, H.D. Rhodes, I want to know right now, because I'm not going to work with everybody if you qualify to work with me. And he said, #1, H.D. Rhodes, for me to work with you, you got to have a big dream, a big goal, a big vision. And he handed me a pen and a paper. And I started writing down what my vision, what my dreams, what my goals were. I was writing down, I was in college. I was like, man, I want a Honda Ninja motorcycle. Yeah, man, I want a jet so that I'd be able to fly my mom and dad wherever they want to go. And they never had to worry about, purchase an airline ticket. I want to pay off my parents' mortgages on their house. And I want to be able to literally just put hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account every day so they don't have to worry about money ever again. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to go on vacation. I want to get a boat. I want jet skis. I just sat there and I was writing just like that. And when I was done doing that, he said, you know what? That's #1. He said, #2, you got to understand. You got to have a work ethic. Now, at that time, I didn't understand what work ethic meant. And this is what he told me. He said, I'm only looking to work with people, of individuals who have a work ethic, and that's discipline at a high level. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he explained to me. He said, yes, sir.
Sorry, we have to collect the tables and chairs for the day.
Okay, okay. No worries. I just got to go ahead and move. They're collecting the tables and stuff. No worries. Let me go ahead and move. Y'all take a walk with me. Take a walk. Let's take a walk around this beautiful city. Like I said, Joe McGee was explaining to me what work ethic was. And work ethic is discipline, man. Do you have the discipline to do what you said you're going to do when you're asked to do it? In the Word of God, there's a promise, and it says in the Bible, he says, if you be willing and obedient, you shall eat off the good of the land. You know, when you look at these big buildings, you know, some people are like, wow, I want to work there. You know, you look over there, and you see RBC, it's a bank. But you understand that bank started with a vision. God put that vision in somebody's heart. And then he wrote it down, okay? And that's the same thing you got to do. You got to write it down. And then God is going to bring, you know, the resources for you to manifest that vision. That's why we're here today, okay? The third thing Joe McGee told me after he said discipline, he said the work ethic. He said he looks for people who have achieved things in high areas. If you have the discipline of someone in the military, if you play sports at a high level, those are the kind of people I'm looking for. He said, HD, I'm talking to you because I see you're playing college sports, and I see in you a passion for greatness. He said, but number 3, and this is the most important thing, he says, you got to be teachable and coachable. See, there's a lot of talent in this world. In the Bible, it says, many are called, but few are chosen. Okay? What happens is there's a lot of people who have dreams and gifts and goals, and they might have work ethic, but if they're not coachable and teachable, there's nothing that God can do to use you. I've been blessed to be able to work with multimillionaires in the past. And right now, with this opportunity, once again, God has blessed me to be able to link up with some multimillionaires. And what they've done is they've created what I believe is the greatest business platform on earth. And the reason I say it's the greatest business platform on earth is the name of the company, number 1, I'm going to tell you right now, it's VYB. 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 Okay? VYB stands for Visualize Your Breakthrough. And the reason it's your breakthrough is because their company's product is you. What's your dreams? What's your goals? What's your passion? Okay? Do you want to be out here on a beautiful sunny day like this, or do you want to be stuck in a cubicle? Did you know that over the next 90 days to 180 days, you could literally be free, walking around, making 6 figures right now, living your dreams because of the gift God put in you. Connecting with a company that's going to provide you the tools, the resources, the training, the mentorship, the technology to take your vision, your goals, and your dreams from step 1 to done. Yes, including branding. What if I don't have the money to go ahead and to launch this major company that I'm talking about? Guess what? They got venture capitalists. See, this is such a great opportunity. They've literally taken every excuse off the table. So all it comes down to is what is it you want to accomplish, you know? And that's why we're talking today. Because I'm looking for people who are hungry. I'm looking for people who are coachable and teachable. And I'm looking for people who have a big dream, a big goal that God put in their spirit. When he put them down on this earth, he said, go! And I want you to accomplish these things. And if all you're looking for is to link up with men and women who are successful and a system that's going to allow you to accomplish your dreams and your goals, well, then you found your place. Welcome to VYB. Visualize your breakthrough. Let me tell you about the owner of the company, Megan Lynch. Megan Lynch, what can I say? Legend, Megan Lynch. She is a millionaire maker. She's been in several multi-level marketing companies. She's been mentored by millionaires and then turned around and was coachable, teachable. She put forth the work ethic. She had the big dreams and goals, okay? And what happened? She's made tens of millions of dollars and helped those who were coachable and teachable with her to become millionaires as well. Well, Megan Lynch and her twin sister Reagan, man, she's like one of the backbones of this company. She's awesome at networking. She's networking with the financial banks. She's networking with a technology company. You know, together the two of them have networked and linked up with a gentleman who's almost a billionaire, who has the technology for the background of this platform. And they brought this all together for you so that you can get out of those corporate handcuffs. So you don't have to be working for the next 40 years and retiring on 40% of what you can't get by on right now. Okay? HD, why do I say that? Because there's 4 financial hindrances in your life you don't know about. Why? They don't teach this in college. They don't even teach this in business school. There's 4 things that's going to keep you broke. Number 1, it's called taxes, income taxes. If you work in any of these buildings and you don't work for yourself, before you get that check, they're going to take taxes out. When you go spend that money from that check, you're going to have to pay taxes. And at the end of every year, you're going to pay taxes. You realize you're only going to pay taxes once if you owned a business, even if you rented out your own home. You're going to be able to write off the square footage of your house if you ran your own business. If you followed that dream, that passion God told you, you're not going to pay taxes 3 times anymore. Okay? The money you spend, you pay taxes on, you're going to get back because it's going to be a tax write-off. Okay? You're going to keep that whole dollar when you get paid for your business. And at the end of the year, when it's time to pay taxes, you're going to be on a totally separate tax bracket, which is going to be like this. You make $100,000 today. You spend $20,000 over the course of the year. Your income now is going to be calculated at $20,000 because of all those tax write-offs. So you're going to be at a tax bracket of $20,000, not the $100,000 you made. I don't know if you caught that. Man, it's so good, man. I almost feel like, whoo, starting a business all over again. One more time. You're going to keep the full $100,000 you made and be able to, the rest of the year, spend it. And what you got left is going to determine the tax bracket you're in. I could stop this live right now. Because when you go to work and they said they're going to pay you $100,000 because you went to school and you got this great corporate job, or you're a doctor or you're a lawyer, man, do you understand? When you get your W-2 or T4, come on, man. They said they paid you $100,000, but you only got 50 of it. They took half of it. And then not only did they take half of it, they're still going to tax you at that $100,000 level. Woo! That alone should have you fired up about business. But there's 3 more things that you got to know. 3 more things that affect that check as a business owner versus what affects your check being an employee. That's interest. You know, you went to school, you went to Harvard, you went to Stanford, okay? Maybe you went to UBC, okay? Whatever school you went to, you know what? You wanted to get the best education. So say that education cost you $100,000, $200,000. Do you realize there's interest if you had to take out a loan to go there? Yeah, there's interest. Just like when you go get that beautiful house, a beautiful car. If you don't pay cash, you get a mortgage or a car note, there's interest. That's a second financial factor that's putting a hole in your finances. Interest, like them credit cards, you bet you, okay? The third one is insurance. When's the last time you went to drive a car and they said, oh, you got to get insurance on that? You know you got to have homeowners insurance for your house. You know you got to have health insurance. You got to pay those deductibles. I don't care how big a company you work at. And if you're going on vacation, God forbid you get sick in Mexico. God forbid you get sick when you're going to the Caribbean. God forbid you end up in Asia or Europe with no medical. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get travel insurance. Those 3 financial indicators right there are sinking a hole in your finances. But what's the 4th, HD? Oh, it's the biggie. Y'all hold your seat, get a pen and paper. If you learn nothing else today, the 4th one is called inflation. What inflation does is it doubles the cost, okay? What I mean by it doubles your cost, every 10 years, okay? What inflation does is your cost of living is doubled. So if you get out of college in 2025 and you're working in corporate America and you're doing good, you're moving up the ladder and you start off in middle management and now I'm like an executive. Ooh, Lord, I'm making $200,000 a year. I start at $100,000 in 2025. But you realize in 2035 that $200,000 is going to have you in the same place? Your spending power is not going to double because inflation doubles every 10 years. So that means in 2045, if you're not making $400,000 a year, now you're falling behind. That means in 2055, after 30 years, if you're not making $800,000 a year, you're not keeping up. And the problem is most people don't understand. One of the best ways to be able to do that as Robert Kiyosaki said in Rich Dad Poor Dad, is understanding what the difference in an asset and liability is. An asset makes money for you. A liability takes money out your bank account. And a business is an asset. And if you had a business, you'll be able to write off your expenses, including insurance, okay, including interest. And guess what? It would work as a hedge of protection against inflation, because as inflation goes up, so does the price of doing business with you, whether it's a product you're selling or a service. Inflation is a hedge of protection for a business owner. So now as things double every 10 years, so does the cost of your product, so it keeps you ahead. So if you're expanding your business and growing because you're part of this platform and learning attraction marketing from our brother, shout out to Jerome Majette, who is on this live. He's going to be teaching courses in VYB. He's going to teach you attraction marketing, which is one of the most powerful ways for you to be able to build your business. Instead of spending millions of dollars in advertising, Jerome Majette is going to be one of not only the leaders in this company, but an educator teaching you how to go ahead and expand your business. So say that your clientele double and you have a business. So now, because of inflation, as the cost of living goes up, so does your prices. Now, truly, you went from 100,000 to now 400,000, which means now you've doubled your income when it comes to the amount of money you're able to spend. So let me talk more about this business. What is this business all about? This business is all about helping the common man become a content creator or be able to develop their own value-added educational course. Okay? So you're a content creator, maybe you're an author, maybe, you know what, you're a small business and you need just the technology to help you to be able to keep up and compete. Guess what? We got your business solutions here. Imagine going from step one to done. System that has everything you need. Mentorship, check. Tools and technology, check. Branding, check. Come on, come on. Capital, we got venture capitalists, check. Everything from A to Z. So let's talk about what do they got. You know what? If you're an educator, we got VYB Global. Like my buddy down in Washington, he's been teaching karate. Big Rob, shout out to Big Rob. What's going on, man? Big Rob, I called him. He said, HD, understanding you're launching a new business. I said, absolutely. He said, well, I only want to hear about this new business, HD. If you could teach me how to run your business and not have to do anything different than teach karate the rest of my life. I said, get a pen and paper, baby, because you're about to be rich. I said, Big Rob, when you're teaching karate, because you spent 18 years in Taiwan before coming back to the United States of America to learn this art. Big Rob is not just a ninja, he like a Jedi. Come on, baby. I said, just hit record on your phone. If you buy you a tripod, now how much is that of an investment? A good tripod costs you about $100. But now while you're getting paid teaching your classes in the daytime, now you're gonna hit record on your phone so you can upload that on this platform. Now as you upload your video content on this platform with VYB, visualizing your breakthrough, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start creating a value-added course based off of what you're doing, okay? So what's gonna happen is he's now gonna have a catalog in which he can go ahead and break down into 1 month course, 2 months course, 3 months course. Now we got 70,000 entrepreneurs in over 160 countries who've already opted in. So don't feel special, go, oh, well, HD, I don't know if this is gonna work. 70,000 people in 160 countries already said, yeah, I'm in. I said, Rob, out of those 70,000 people, you don't think that they're gonna bring at least 10 of their customers? So what's 70,000 times 10? Oh, Rob, now you got access online, just like you would Facebook, Instagram, just like you would on YouTube. But now, as my brother Jerome Majette taught me, I'm gonna give you visibility. So you're gonna have 700,000 eyeballs around the world. And when they go and look at martial arts in this catalog that VYB put together, they click your course, Big Rob. And if only 1,000 people sign up the first month to take this martial arts course from this gentleman who studied in Taiwan for 18 years? Come on, man, I need to lose weight. You know I'm gonna sign up for that. So it's almost summertime, the sun is shining. AC Rhodes got to sign up for this course. It's gonna help me get ripped, okay? If you only had 1,000 people sign up and he charged $25 a month, woo! Only $25 to learn from a master martial artist? Yep, he would have made $25,000. Now the next month, if they only told one person about his course, You know, his passion, karate, his course, because he was recording what he's already doing. If everyone told one person, the second month he's going to have another, 1,000 people sign up for the first sessions, right? First month. So there's 25,000. But what about that first 1,000 who's now going to take the second course for the second month? Okay, so 25,000, 25,000. Oh, he just doubled his money. So Rob went from 25,000 month 1 to 50,000 month 2. Now what happens if everyone just refers one more person because they're super excited about his content? That means in month 3, I just showed Rob how to make $100,000 in 1 month. Now I don't know about you, but if somebody showed me how to make $175,000 in 3 months doing what I'm doing by hitting record on my phone, baby, you would have my full attention. And I got Rob's, and now Rob is about to be able to do what the Bible says, create an inheritance for his children's children. That's what VYB's about. It's about you taking your dream, your goal, your focus, your vision, and connect it to the right platform of mentors, okay, and leaders who are going to give you the tools, the technology, and education, the branding, so that you can go ahead and live your dreams. I got a brother down in Dallas, Texas. His name is James. He's a musician. James is teaching music already. Peer-to-peer, mano a mano. He even performs in jazz concerts down there. He loves music so much, he performs every weekend at his church. And I told James, I said, hey, James, he told me he's getting ready to get laid off at his job. I said, don't worry, brother. God heard your prayers. I said, man, I got to show you a platform that you can learn how to make money while you sleep. I had the same conversation with James that I did with Big Rob. And James said, man, I'm in. When is this going to launch? Because he understood the power that everyone wants to learn how to teach music, right? So guess what? He's going to have teachers, and he's going to have people who just want to learn how to play. So imagine double that. He has 2,000 people sign up for his course for month 1. 2,000 people, and he said, you know what? I want to put my toe in. I only want to charge $20 per course. Month 1, 2,000 people sign up for $20. Guess what? My buddy James makes $40,000 month 1. But everyone refers one more person because they're like, man, this brother can teach music. Man, everyone's like, man, how did you learn to play that bass guitar so quick? They go, oh, man, you got to go online and take this course. It's only $20. Month 2, that means James is now making $80,000. Month 3, everyone just referred one person to go to school online, learn at their own time. James is making $160,000 month 3. Now, if that's got your attention, that's good. Because there's only one question out there. What is your dream? What is your goal? What's your superpower? What's the gift God put in you that he's trying to bring out, but you're too busy on a beautiful sunny day like this, trapped in an office working this job that's barely paying you enough to be able to get by? I had an acronym a long time ago when I was 20 years old. He said, you know what a job stands for? Just over broke. You know what a job that these people are only going to pay you just enough for you to come back and go to work again? And that's why you see a lot of your coworkers who don't have the passion, the grind. They don't have, you know what we talked about? The work ethic, okay, like you do. They do half the work you do, but get paid the same. Why? Because that's what jobs do. They're going to pay you just enough to come back, and a lot of your coworkers put in just enough effort not to get fired. But if you're looking for excellence, if you're looking to be able to accomplish your goals and your dreams, well, then welcome to VYB. We want to introduce you to a platform that's going to allow you to do what you want. Oh, my man, Reggie. What's going on, Big Reg? Hey, my buddy Reggie loves motorcycles. Big Reg. Reggie, imagine if you had content just featuring you and your motorcycle buddies. You guys driving around, you guys hooking up your motorcycles, you guys teaching about how you guys, like to hook up the motorcycles. That could be your content, Reggie. And how many people around the world love motorcycles? I know I love motorcycles. Like I said, when I was 20 years old, I wanted to get a Honda Ninja. And my girlfriend at the time was like, no, I don't want you to do that, because what if you get in an accident? You won't be able to play basketball. And if God forbid you're an organ donor. But you know what? I know Reggie's part of a motorcycle crew, and man, they got beautiful motorcycles. Reggie, guess what? In VYB, we got something called VYB Tribe. What's that? You could create a community that is focused on nothing but motorcycles. Bro, we got something for everybody. My man Rodney blessed me the other day. I got some protein shakes that got sent in. Rodney is a personal trainer who also goes above and beyond. He puts together a nutrition plan. Imagine what's going to happen when Rodney comes on here and he starts creating a nutrition plan for all the people who want to lose weight. Imagine if there was 1,000 people who signed up to learn from a personal trainer how to be able to eat right so that they're able to get the results. And he's able to tailor fit their lifestyle and whatever their allergies are and whatever, food based off their blood type, because he's put in the time to learn. Certain foods work with certain blood types. Come on now. And he only had 1,000 people sign up this month at $20 a piece. He makes $20,000 in his sleep. People are clicking and learning because they're on a different time zone. Maybe they're in Asia. Maybe they're in Europe. Maybe they're in Africa. Maybe they're in India. That's what we're talking about today. So before I get off, I'm going to tell you, there is literally 5 different ways you get paid. And I only talked about one. Now, some people go, HD Rhodes, I know you better than that. I know this has to do with network marketing. I don't like pyramids. I'm sorry. But the biggest pyramid I've ever seen is behind me. I mean, no one makes more money than the CEO. If they do, it's called embezzlement. You got the CEO at the top. You got the other executives underneath them. You got all these workers below them, and those little workers don't make more money than the managers, and the managers don't make more money than the executives, and the executives never make more money than the CEO, and that's why people be lying and cheating and scrapping, and it's like Survivor in corporate America, because until the person above you, gets fired, gets sick or die, you can't move up unless he retires or decides to go somewhere else. But in direct sales, it's different. It's like an inverted pyramid, because what happens is the person who does the most work makes the most money. And that's enough about that, man, because what makes it legal is the same thing that makes these pyramids behind me legal. As long as a product and service is being exchanged for money, go look it up online, baby. So anyways, man, let's talk about the other way you get paid. The cool thing about direct sales is direct sales works kind of just like a gym membership. Imagine if going to Costco said, hey, if you have an executive membership, it costs $150. But we got a special because we don't want to spend money in advertising and spend billions of dollars like other companies. So what we're going to do is every one of your friends that you refer to Costco, how about this? We're going to give you $25 out of their $150 fee for them to sign for Costco. That'd be cool. What if your favorite restaurant or pizza joint did that? They said every time you guys go to lunch right around the corner here, I notice you come here a lot, instead of giving you this coupon where you buy like 10 burritos and you get one free, how about this? Every time you come here as a customer, you know what? You buy a burrito. If you bring a friend with you, we're going to give you a portion of his burrito fee. So every time you spend $10 on a burrito, we're going to give you $2 back for each friend you bring. I don't know about you, but I'd be bringing as many coworkers as I could every day till I got my burrito free. And then depending on what my finances look, that's what direct sales is. Okay, that's what we did at VYB. VYB said, look, because we're not selling a lotion, potion, pill, we're not selling travel, we're not selling financial services, we're selling a platform, and the platform's product is you. Every content creator, every educator, every entrepreneur that you refer to VYB, we're going to send you a financial thank you. Now, is that all right? Is it all right that VYB's going to pay me if you go ahead, instead of spending $1,000 a month to go through some other educational course, and then you spend a couple thousand for technology, you spend a couple thousand to learn marketing, you spend another couple thousand, next thing you know, you went in debt, you had to get a loan to go back just like you did when you went to school to pay $5,000 to be able to get all the tools you need from like 5 or 10 other platforms. Oh man, let's not talk about the AI editing. Is it cool if VYB just says for one low fee, okay, you could come and they have everything you need? And if you come to them and they help you to accomplish your goal while you're paying your monthly fee, this small amount of money to have all the things you need on a platform, it's okay if they send me just a little bit of that? Well, that's all we're talking about. And if that's okay with you, then guess what? That's the direct sales part of it. But if you want nothing to do with direct sales, like some of my friends who go, hey man, I just want to run my business. I just want to learn how to connect AI to my business. Well, you can do that too, because it's just like a gym. You don't have to use the bench press, the squat machine, and the sauna, and the row machine, And the treadmill when you go to the gym. You know, some days it's upper body day. Other days it's lower body day. And it's the same thing with VYB. They got a catalog of everything you need to be successful. And for one low price, you are able to go ahead and get there. Now I'm getting ready to get off of here, man, because I don't want this video to be too long. But if you need more information, DM me. And I'd love to go ahead and shoot you more information about this company, VYB, VYB. Like I said, visualize your breakthrough, VYB. And then, you know what? Let's go ahead and link up with my best friend, Jerome Majette. Because, I mean, after all, he's going to be one of the mentors and the educators. And if he's teaching people how to use, you know, this attraction marketing, wouldn't it be kind of cool to be able to get a head start before you end up having to pay, you know, to prick his mind? Come on, let me introduce you to Jerome Majette today. Outside of that, now, if you're a number 3, you said, AC, I don't need no more information. Bro, what you said just hit me. I'm ready to go. Hey, DM me. I'll go ahead and send you the link so you can get started. I appreciate all you guys. God bless you. I'm about to go enjoy this sunny day. I'm about to go back and hook up with the content creator. Oh, did I say content creator? Yeah. As you guys see on my Facebook, I've been working with a professional recording artist who is in the hip-hop industry. He gave his life to the Lord Jesus Christ. We baptized him last Thursday. Went to church on Friday. The Holy Spirit came on him. And that's why I'm shooting a ton of content with him. Because you know what? He's about to go from being homeless in a homeless shelter to charting the #1 on the billboards. And when you check out that music on my Facebook, hey, tell all your friends about Matthew Plant and cop that music. Because you know what? God has blessed him in a major way. And y'all can be a part of him accomplish his dream. God bless. I'm out.